Hello, Pisces. My name is Missy, and I'm here to read some AstroCharms for the month of September. I'm going to be pulling some cards from our Mother Mary Oracle deck and the Housewives Tarot to see what are the general energies surrounding you this month. Once we do that, we're going to go ahead and pull some charms, and we'll read that the way that we would a transit chart. So we're going to have a little bit of astrology mixed in. I'm going to go ahead and give these a few more shuffles, and then we'll get into the reading. So these readings are meant to be timeless and general in nature. If the details fit for your situation, the reading is meant for you. If they do not, however, please don't try to force it, because that will do more harm than good. That just means it's not your reading. I am not a doctor, lawyer, or accountant, so if you need advice in any of those areas, please, by all means, consult a professional. Also, do not do something simply because I suggest it in one of these videos. You are an adult who has responsibility for your own life. Please use that to your advantage. Okay. So let's get started. We have Our Lady of Starting Over, and that's a 29, which breaks down to 11, which has me wondering if you're starting over in a relationship or starting over from a relationship. 11 is a master number, which talks or speaks of wisdom, right? Mastery of the self, but mainly mastery over our thoughts and emotions. So take that however it resonates for your situation. Okay, we have the song She Don't Know, Carrie Underwood. Okay, now we have the Six of Wands on the bottom of the deck. So this is a card about recognition, right, for the work that you've put in. And you can see they're very impressed with how clean this house is, the people that are snooping through the window. So maybe people are sort of snooping on you, but like in a good way, right? Like maybe you've been doing stuff behind the scenes and now you're going to be recognized for it. It could be in regards to children, because we do have Our Lady of the Rose Child here. Oh, interesting. A lot of major arcana. And this is definitely about a family situation, or it doesn't have to be, well, this is like a general reading, but it can be love. It's just we have what looks like opposing parties here that are two queens, right? So these are people who are on the same levels, the same age in some way. One person is feeling rejected or left out, or somehow like, there's a lack of something. Now, one good thing about this, we have Our Lady of Starting Over on the bottom of this deck, and we've got the Fool as the last card in your spread here, this is just confirmation of this energy here, because that's what the Fool is about. It's, a brand new beginning. Now, the Five of Pentacles is going to be your center energy, which means these three cards are going to be from the past, and these three cards are going to represent the immediate future, but I want to call your attention to these three here. The Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, and the Chariot. Okay, fire sign to earth sign, and there's some sort of turmoil between them. What is the turmoil between them? It looks like they used to get along here. They used to get along well. They went shopping together in this image, obviously. They're smiling. Although one person is kind of looking sideways or side-eyed at what the other, like this woman is looking side-eyed at what the other person has in her hand. And actually that is a can that says tarot on it. The one who's looking side-eyed at the other one's can of tarot, or at the other one's tarot, being, maybe there's somebody in your life that doesn't like the fact that you're into spiritual stuff, right? But they have their own hand full of risk. If you notice, their can says risk. So who are they? Like right there, like, what the fuck? Who are you to say something? It's like patronizing in a way. Also, because look at the imagery here. In this one, she's patting her husband on the head as she leaves for work, right? Very patronizing. Over here, this one's going, excuse you? Who are you to patronize me when you've got your own risk sitting in the palm of your hand? You're trying to call attention to my tarot, right? Like, that's the turmoil. One person is sticking their nose in where they shouldn't. There needs to be some balance brought to this situation so that there can be a new beginning, because someone is feeling very rejected and sad about the situation. Now, I'm going to put the Fool card on the top of this because that's kind of pretty clear in terms of what the energies are and what needs to happen. As to who needs to be the one to make the first move, I don't know, probably the one who is looking side-eye at the other one. And you know which side you are on. Are you the one who is into spirituality, or are you the one who has their own handful of risk going on? Like, what is it that you're doing in your own life, and are you trying to judge someone else for their decisions, right? You know your situation better than I do, but if that's you, if you're the one who's judging someone else's decisions, you need to be the one to stop that shit and make the first move, especially if you miss the person and you want to speak with them. Okay, we have the song Crazy on You, Heart, in the background, and let's go ahead and get some charms. I knew that was a huge handful. Look at how many there are there. A lot of small ones. Okay, so we have a lot of tourmalated quartz, and one of those pieces fell on the table kind of far. I did not explain that if the charms fall in the very center of this board, that is something that is either the main message or the main thing that you should be focusing on for September, or it can represent something that you need to take care of or focus on immediately as soon as you watch this reading. And if it does not mean that, what it's saying is that these energies that are coming through in the center might happen immediately after you watch this reading. Everything that fell here on the board is talking, the timeline for that is for the month of September. These two crystals that fell here on the green ring are speaking to, somewhere between 1 to 3 months out, and out here on the table is anywhere from 3 months to a year. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of tourmalated quartz. They came out over the 6th house here, the 7th house, the 8th house, and the 9th house. So that's important because actually I'm wrong. It's the 5th house, 6th house, 7th house, 8th house, and 9th house, because I didn't even see this one here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of tourmalated quartz. Now, tourmalated quartz is a crystal that speaks to healing. But it's not just like healing your body. It's all about like healing your mind and your soul and your heart in order to get yourself balanced emotionally and mentally so that you can operate efficiently in your daily life, right? And the reason that you do that is to protect yourself emotionally and mentally and physically, because you don't want to let in, stress and anxiety and all these kind of things, right? So to have so many pieces of tourmalated quartz come out, and they're coming out on the section of the chart that has to do with like other people and your interactions with other people. This would be the house of children or romance, right? Fun, going out and having fun. So that's interaction there. Also creative pursuits. Over here, this is how you are of service to others. This house is the house of others, meaning the people that you partner with or that you have responsibility for, or the people that you're in competition with. Over here we have joint resources, and up here we have other people, meaning like people that are different from you, or, you know, foreigners, people who live in other countries, right? So there's a lot of people coming through, a lot of interaction that has to do with other people that I think you need to get balanced on. You need to heal some stuff with some people here. Doing that is going to protect yourself, obviously, and also it's going to last for at least a year. Like whatever this is, it's going to be work that you have to put in that's going to take some time, right? Now that we know that, let's look at some of these letters, because letters that come in can be people, places, or things that are somehow important to the situation, especially when it comes, you know, with these houses that are coming out, right? So we have 11, 10, and 9. So these are more houses that have to do with people, because we already spoke about how this is the house of foreigners, or people that are different from you. This is the house of how the public sees you, like your reputation and your integrity, so other people again. And this is the house of your friends and your social circle. So there could be people, places, or things with these letters here that are attached to those areas, being work, networking, social circle, friends, foreigners, that are important. There could be some losses, right? Like it could, losses and a lot of hard work, especially if you're trying to understand somebody who's very different from you. You're going to need to be prepared for a lot of hard work and for a lot of expense, a lot of time. Like this may not be money that you have to spend. That might not be the expense attached to it. It could be a lot of like, you have to change your belief system. You have to actually expand your mind and open up to the possibility of what somebody else is saying. And you've got to be prepared for that, right? Especially because we've got the number 7 domino coming through there, which is 7 is the number about getting into alignment and getting into contact with God. And that is coming out in the house of your higher self, your connection to spirit, right? And so, you know, it's saying that, you know, change and cooperation or support, like, you know, cooperation, changing how you are with other people because of that 2 there, is going to be very beneficial for you. Now, going back to the center in terms of what should be your main focus, again, more being prepared, to find solutions, or being creative in terms of finding solutions, using your wisdom, being willing to compromise is going to make you a star. But also, this particular star has a whirlwind in the center, that a spiral. I always see that as like a vortex of energy, like whirlwind energy, where things are going to happen fast. So the more you cooperate, the faster things are accomplished. Yeah, look at over here with the 8th house when it talks about like joint resources, right? Made with love. So more so like this is, you know, again, like, this can be where you're like what it's going to cost you, right? Like the money or the expense that you have for whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, it's going to cost you love, right? That's it. Just put your heart into it. It's not going to cost a whole lot. You're protected financially over here as well. You know, also, if you're afraid, like, I don't know why, just because of all of this energy up here, because we've got Scorpio on the 9th house. So Scorpio is a very sort of occult kind of energy, right? It gets very deep and in depth, and it likes taboo, deep, dark things that other people might be afraid of. And so Scorpio rules the 8th house naturally, and where we're talking about the only thing that it's going to cost you for this is love, to come with an open heart. To have this in opposition to that, especially where you're talking about what is the cost to you, and over here in the house of your own personal resources, you've got this symbol for protection. It's like defensive protection as well. So this makes me feel, because Scorpio owns this house naturally, and you've got Scorpio on the 9th house, and we've been talking about opening yourself up. It makes me feel like maybe there's something about this person who's so different from you that has to do with some sort of taboo subject that scares you. You don't have to worry about that. You're protected, especially if it's a spiritual subject, because of Scorpio being on that cusp there, and Scorpio's attachment to taboo things. Like, get over it. There's nothing to worry about. You're not going to be hurt by someone else's spiritual views. And I'm sorry that I seem so irritated when I say that. It's just, this is something I personally have been fighting with my entire life because of this right here. And actually, specifically, a Pisces from way back who was very judgmental about this right here and literally used to tell me that I was either a demon or bringing demons into the house. So, you know, if you happen to have those views about, well, you wouldn't be watching me, but if this is somebody else, like if you have views about somebody or something where you're like, oh, this is very dangerous and scary, this is very taboo, I can't open my heart to this, I can't get involved in this because it's going to affect me negatively, don't worry about it. It's not going to. You have some difficulties with the way that you express yourself with this mouse here coming out in the third house over the symbol for Venus. So when you express like the things that you love, when you express your values, there's issues with that, especially if it's concerned with this, where somebody has a different spiritual value than you do, right? There's a problem with that needs to be addressed, especially because you've got this ruler or these I can't think of what it's like for if you're doing architecture or geometry, right? You're trying to draw up the plans you need to be able to strategize and measure the actions that you take, but also the words that you say, because this is coming out over the symbol for Mercury. So if you measure your words in terms of like family and security, be very careful about how you speak or communicate those things that you value. You're going to be in a much better position. It's going to be more abundant for you, especially because this particular ear of corn fell on top of the symbol for Neptune. Neptune is a symbol for unconditional love, which is saying you need to open your heart to this person who's different from you over here. Maybe you don't want to for some reason. Maybe you just don't like them. I don't know. But you really need to, if you want this new beginning, if you want to start over, you need to open your heart to this person. And get balanced. Definitely get balanced. Clear the air. I feel like there's counseling that needs to happen here for some reason. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and leave that here. I hope that resonates. If it does not, please stick around. There may be another reading for you here on the channel that does. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends, hit the notification bell, anything you can to help me get my channel out there since I'm new here, and I thank you for watching.